Our next speaker is a rather ruthless evaluator. This time he's on the other end of the lectern. So, Jerry has contributed a great deal in the short time that he's started coming again to the Toastmasters, with the Daybreakers. And we really appreciate his efforts, particularly with the new website. His speech, 5 to 7 minutes, Mr. Timer, is titled Husband Trainer. Jerry Hobby, Husband Trainer.
I just want to clarify, are you my evaluator?
Yes.
Okay, I'll use that information in a little bit.
That's not bad.
Periodically, I get stopped by somebody when we're out at an event somewhere or we're doing something, and somebody will turn around, usually a lady will turn around and say, well, will you teach my husband to do that? So I've decided I had to have a little training, and we're calling it husband training. I've been thinking about this for a long time. Now, personally, I'm a bit of a study of how people think and how, I enjoy figuring out how people think, what makes people make decisions that they make. And most of what I've learned is actually from my own experiences. And give you a little start. Okay, first off, this is my beautiful bride, Grace. I'll show off her little picture here. I think she's gorgeous. I compliment her all the time. Everybody always tells me I'm lucky to have her. She reminds me frequently that I'm lucky to have her. And I actually agree. And I always call her my beautiful bride, even though we've been together for 20 years. And we were married 13 and a half years ago. And I don't remember the date. I am a man. But it was that long ago. But we had dated for about 7 years. But let me tell you where it all started. When we first off, I won her in a Super Bowl bet. But that's a topic for another time. I'll leave you hanging with that. But that's actually how I met her. So these discussions about dating all brought back fond memories there. But she's a shopper. Women shopping, can you believe, right? Well, what I learned to do to manage her shopping was 2 things. First off, I would figure out what time does the mall close. And 1 to 2 hours before that, I would take her to the mall, so that we wouldn't shop all day. Otherwise, she would be there 12 to 16 hours, right? Just the mall closes at 9, I would dilly-dally around and whatever, and about 8 o'clock we'd show up. But you know what was happening? They were having to kick her out underneath the gates in the stores because she wouldn't quit shopping. And the other thing that I learned to do to help curb her shopping is whatever she put on, I don't care if it was a hair clip, that makes you look fat.
Oh.
No. This was not the good part of the husband. This is where I started, right? Now, my beautiful, gorgeous bride tolerated me with all this stuff, and I can't believe that she did, but she tolerated all that, and she learned what I was doing, and she just bought the thing anyway. Nice thing about her shopping is she always returns what she buys. I don't understand this process, but if you have $100, you buy something, return it, buy something, return it, buy something, return it, you can shop for weeks on that same $100. That's kind of what worked for her. Now, when we got married, see, my wife, she's got that Asian thing, and so there's a little bit of that, I don't want to say subservient, but there's a way of just letting the man be in charge, and I want to say it in a respectful way, but she always let me make all the decisions until we got married.
Yeah.
The day we got married, before we ever got back to the room or left the facility or anything, we finished getting married, we did our little kiss, we ran and everybody threw stuff at us, and then she turned to me and she goes, you know what you need to do? And it never stopped. You know what you need to do? You know what you need to do? I heard that 3, 4, 5 times before we ever left the place. And I said, Grace, what's with this, you know what you need to do? She goes, well, and you can see this, the whole whatever kind of stuff. She goes, in my family, the woman's in charge. And when we wasn't married, I wasn't going to tell you what to do, but we're married now. And now I'm the woman always in charge of my family. You just look, and it just went on. And that was the beginning of our marriage. Anyway, I got retrained hardcore with that. So that was my first lesson, and I learned that the key response to a successful relationship is, yes, dear. Now, we all know that one, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I always have to take things to another level. So that grew and matured over time. It became, yes, dear, you're absolutely right. I don't know what I was thinking. Boy, I'm glad I married you. And I had that as my canned response to whatever she said for about a year. And then she kind of grew tired of that whole thing, so it kind of dropped back to yes, dear. So the point in that, the lesson there is yes, dear is good enough, even though it's cliche. Yes, dear works, right? And the other one is compliment. I compliment her like crazy. This is, okay, I'm gonna randomly pick you, Madam Evaluator.
Oh,
You look great in that. Are those new shoes? You have the butt of a 20-year-old. You look much younger than me. All my friends tell me how lucky I am. You're so beautiful. I'm so lucky. You're the reason I'm living. Now, that's said fast and run together, but those are the kinds of compliments I give her. And I really do believe all of those, so I say it with a little tongue in cheek, but those are the kinds of things that I say to her. I just had to test them out on you a little bit there. No problem. And I mean that comment about the butt, Miss Evaluator. Okay. Now, the real one, the piece de resistance. A lifetime of study has led me to the ultimate answer on husband training. Okay, women, you know this stuff, okay? Men are stupid. Men are stupid. Women have a low expectation of men, and we deserve it by some of the stupid things that we do, right? Amen. Okay. I'm sorry, what was that from the back? Amen, right? Men are stupid. So here it is, guys. Women, y'all stop listening now, because this is really it. This is the nugget right here. When your wife or your girlfriend or whatever, when a woman asks you to do something, no matter what it is, from take out the trash, do the dishes, pick up your dirty socks, the answer is always yes. Always. Yes, dear. Always, always, always. And then, don't do it. Here's why. If you say no, you're a jerk. And you're in trouble. And you're going to get screamed at because you won't do the little things she asks you to do. You say yes, and you don't do it. You're just an idiot. She already knew that about you. You're not in trouble. Men are stupid. Women expect nothing from you. If you say no, you're an argumentative jerk and you're in big trouble. But if you say yes, and you still don't do it, well, that's just men. You can't count on them. Men are stupid. So always say yes, and then if you don't want to do it, don't do it. Thank you very much.